Hey guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to Falloweenmas. I am giving you guys a real look at what my house looks like behind the scenes when I start decorating from one holiday to the next. We've got fall, we've got Halloween, and we have Christmas. I am going to get my Christmas tree up, and it is on Halloween, and I had Christmas or Halloween candy out, and I had tubs out. It was a mess, you guys. I was just a mess, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to share with my friends what real life looks like at the Maldonado household, and it was a mess in here. I got the tree up and it took me all day. Thank you everybody for your lovely comments. That was so sweet of you guys to share so many nice comments with me and tell me how you loved my tree. It is my tree in my home and I love it. It is just drizzled with ribbon exactly the way I envisioned it, and I couldn't be happier. So thank you so much for all of your compliments. But I was tired. And I was overwhelmed, and so I decided to just go to bed and worry about it the next day. So that is what I did. I got up in the morning, I had my coffee, I got dressed, and I got to work. It was most gratifying at the end of this day because I did some true homemaking. I started first because what was bothering me the most was all the clutter. I got all the clutter taken care of. Once I got all the clutter taken care of, then I could move through the house and clean surfaces. I also wanted to get a pot of chili going because it was Halloween on this day, and I wanted to get chili and cornbread going. Ernie ended up coming home, so that was really lovely. See all this candy? Not one candy left behind. Okay, maybe a handful, but I saved it for myself. Left behind. I ran out at 7:40 p.m. I had to turn my porch light off. I felt so bad. It was pouring rain, and I thought that no kids were coming out, but nope. They were all out, and they were happy to be wet collecting candy, and I was here for it. It was awesome. But I went through all those five gigantic bags of candy from Sam's Club, $125 worth of candy. Oh my goodness, and due to inflation, I didn't buy 6. Last year I went through 6 bags. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so I got the clutter all cleared up, and then I started working on surfaces. I'm going to get a pot of chili going. I'm going to get cornbread in the oven before Ernie gets home, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy my nice clean house. There is nothing better than a clean home and a good meal. This is true homemaking to me. As exhausting as it can be and as repetitive as it can be, there is just nothing more gratifying to me than a clean home and a good meal cooking on the stove. I don't know, you guys have to let me know if that's something that you enjoy as well. It just does something for my soul when I do that. It just is so good. It was always something that I enjoyed doing with the kiddos. When they were little, lighting those pumpkins. So you had the roasting pumpkin smell in the air, and, kids running around in costumes and chili cooking, and the house was clean, and it was just the best times. And so I just really, really loved that. I'm going to go ahead and start removing a little bit of my fall decor because I am getting my house. I'm transitioning. And this is what transition looks like this time of year for me. It is Falloweenmas. I was trying to come up with that name, and I typed it out, and I said, hey, that works. I am going to go ahead and transport in a bag all of these picks upstairs. It was just easier to do this. I'm not throwing them away, just so you know. And I have that other greenery set aside because I think I might want to use it on my mantle. So that is what I'm doing here. But little by little, I'm going to get the fall haul. I'm going to get that all taken down. And we're going to transition right into Christmas. I'm going to take you guys along on what it looks like, in real life. And in real life, I don't have it all together. In real life, I'm overwhelmed. In real life, I make messes. And in real life, it's not always pretty. But I thought, you know what? I don't want anybody to come to my channel and think that I've got it all together and think that I've got it, perfectly planned out and organized and everything stays clean, because it does not. My house is a complete disaster when I'm decorating, as you all probably can relate to. And usually because I'm filming, everything else goes by the wayside because I am concentrating on that day on filming for my channel. So that is it, filming. And because I like to film in real time, kind of, with you guys are pretty up to date on when I put videos out. I've got to get them filmed and editing can take 4 to 6 hours, depending on how many clips I have. I've gotten pretty good at it, but sometimes I want to add new music, and yeah, so I try and do my filming, pretty in real time so that you guys are following along with me as I live my life. So anyways, I'm sitting here having coffee while I edit this, and I just am thinking back about how good it felt on this day to get my house all in order. The upstairs is a mess. There's tubs of Christmas everywhere, which is fine. It's okay. It's clean up there. It's just tubs everywhere. If I were to put all of those in the attic and stack them up nice and neat, my whole house would be spotless, but that's not the case. I'm going to go ahead and pull things out as I'm decorating, and once I'm done, anything that I don't use, I'm not going to, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I'm having a really hard time getting rid of the Christmas mainly because a lot of it is pretty darn new. And, I love Christmas. And so it's really hard for me to let go of that kind of stuff. So we'll see what I end up doing. I really want to have a garage sale. And if I have one, it has to be this month soon, like within the next couple weeks, because if I'm going to sell any Christmas, it's going to go this month. I know a lot of people wait until after Thanksgiving. So, oh boy. So we shall see how that all turns out. But it just felt really good to get all the clutter taken upstairs. And the trash, it was trash day the following day. And on trash day, I always clean out my refrigerator, make sure all the bathroom trash make sure all the trash in the house and anything that needs to be tossed is in the garbage can, and then I can just take it out to the curb. But it was a lovely day to do this because, like I said, it had rained on Halloween night, so we had a storm blowing in. It was really nice outside, and just the perfect weather to love on my home and, get it looking really good and smelling really good, and it felt so good. So anyway, so that is what I'm doing. You guys have to let me know how your Halloween was. Did you guys get lots of trick-or-treaters? We get so many, you guys. I'm not joking you. People come from, because you have to think about where we live. We're in a development, but surrounding us are large properties. So people that live on acreage. So it's really nice for them. They're able to come here, and, the kids are able to trick-or-treat on sidewalks, which is rare in Tennessee, with street lights, and, and it's just a safer option. So a lot of people drive here to trick-or-treat. And it's just so fun. My favorite thing is to see all the little bitties, doing their first, especially the ones that are, it's their first Halloween or the first time they can say trick-or-treat. So cute. And of course I give candy, and I love seeing the teenagers and the older kids. It just brings warmth to my heart to know that there's still kids out there that are, of that age, and they're still enjoying these types of activities as opposed to getting into trouble and doing other things. And so I'm so happy to give them candy. And I'm the kind of person that says, grab a handful. I just put the basket out and say, grab whatever your little hand can hold. And this one little boy was so stinking cute. He came up and he goes, trick or treat. And I said, well, happy Halloween. And I said, go ahead, help yourself. I go, one handful. And I go, as much as your hand can handle. And he put both hands in there. And I go, oh, sweetie, just one handful, okay? And so he stuck his hand in there and he was scooping it up. He was trying to get as much in that little hand as possible. And his eyes were so big and he was so excited. And I told my husband the next day, I said, I should have just let him take the 2 handfuls. I don't really care. Whoever comes and gets the candy, first come, first serve. And when I'm ready to turn the porch light off, I turn it off. And like I said, I put a few aside. I would say maybe 10 candies because I have the grandkids coming over on that Sunday. And so I put like maybe 10 away and I maybe ate like 5. Maybe more, maybe 10 or 15 pieces, and that was it. But every other one was gone, and so we just get so many kids here, and it's just so much fun. And the rain did not damper their spirit at all. They were having a blast, and I loved that. So anyways, I finally got the chair in my room. I struggled with that chair. I just had it backwards, so I was trying to move and groove and get it in there, but I finally got it in. And I actually like it in that corner. It's actually very cozy, very warm, but there's way too much furniture in this room. So I'm most likely not going to keep it in here, but I did like having it there. It just, I don't know, something about a chair next to a bed just is warm to me and cozy and it's inviting. And so I loved the look of it. So anywho, it felt really good to get the room dusted. I have allergies. I suffer from allergies. Oh my goodness. And so, and they're getting worse as I get older. My body can pick up on dust so easily and all that kind of stuff. So, I have to keep my room pretty well dusted. Otherwise, I'm a sneezing catastrophe at night. But I'm not horrible about carpet and fabrics and all that kind of stuff. I just, I refuse. I'm going to live my life. So anyways, the closet was kind of a disaster. I get like that. I get it organized. I get it clean. And then, I'll do laundry and I don't feel like hanging it up or I'm busy doing something else. So I just rush it in the room. Because I told you guys when I'm cleaning a room and let's say I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning the laundry room and there's stuff in there, I will take it, or let's say I fold it on the dining room table. That's a better example. And I just want to get it off the dining room table. I'll just take the clothes that need to be hung up and go set it on my shoe rack in my closet. And then I'll never get it hung up. And I'll just keep piling and then eventually it falls because I'm looking for shoes and oh boy. So anyways, it took me literally 5 minutes to get this done, get this taken care of. And each time that happens, I always say to myself, why, Anna? Why? Because I'll be good about it for like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. I'll be excellent. I will keep this organized. I mean, I need to go straighten up the top of the shelves and everything, but I'll keep it organized and then it'll start getting lazy again, But speaking of lazy, so I get a lot of people that say, where do you get the energy to clean? Where do you get the energy to keep house? And it's not that I have the energy to do it. My energy level has definitely diminished with age. However, I was brought up by a mother who did not stop. It didn't matter how old she was. She just didn't stop. And it didn't matter how tired she was. She didn't stop. She got the house clean. She got the meals cooked. She just took care of business. And I was raised by her. And that's just how me and all my sisters are. That's just how we are, all of us, every single one of us. And back in the day when we all lived in the same state and we get together for holidays, I mean, after Thanksgiving dinner, that kitchen got whipped into shape real quick because, me and all my sisters would get in there and we would just, take care of business. That's just how we roll. That's just how we are. So it's not necessarily that I have a ton of energy. You know what I mean? Like, some days I do. Some days I'm like, part of that is because I love what I do. This is my job and I love my job. And when you love something, you don't mind doing it, But I do have my lazy days. They're forced lazy days. And I have to do that for myself because I don't work outside the home, see? My husband works outside the home. And when he gets to come home on the weekends, he's away from his job and he gets to relax. He doesn't have to think about doing it. So then come Monday, he's re-energized and ready to take on another week. And that's kind of the way I feel about lazy days with homemaking. If you're a homemaker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have to force yourself to take breaks. You just absolutely have to. And if you don't, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to become real lazy. So when I say real lazy, because there's people who are just lazy, okay? They're just filthy and lazy. You guys know, there's people out there like that. But the majority, or at least I'd like to think, the majority of the people are not lazy. They're just burnt out. You know what I mean? So that's at least the way I like to think about it. I think this might be the first time you guys are seeing the library built out. See me clean it since we had it built out. I just love this room so much. Those are my candles sitting there, and I'm going to get those put away and just dusting surfaces and getting it, you know, freshened up in here. I just want to talk really quick about my candles. I promise you guys, I am working on it. It's just I have to find boxes to get them shipped. And until I find the right box, I'm kind of at a standstill. But I promise you it's coming. I just want to do it right. I'm taking my time. I'm not trying to rush this. I need to make sure that when I ship a candle to you, it gets to you safely, okay? So I need to make sure I find the right boxes. That's number one. I can't put them on the website for you guys to pre-order. I don't like pre-orders. That's just too much pressure. I'd rather wait until I have the boxes in my hand, the packaging material, so that I can get them out ASAP, because I promise you, any orders that come in, I will be filling those orders the same day and getting them out. If it's early enough in the day, the same day or the following day, because I'm that kind of person. So I can't put them on the website until I have the boxes. And that is because, what the reason I just mentioned, I need to make sure that I can ship them to you ASAP, but mostly because I need to put like the dimensions of the box and all of that stuff for shipping purposes on the website. It's a whole thing with shipping, you know, the shipping aspect of it. So they're coming. I promise. It is a priority, but it's not at the top of my priority list right now because we have a lot going on. So I need to take some time and just sit down and really narrow down what it is I'm choosing. I'm only going to buy 30 boxes right now because I want to see how this goes. You know, and then like I said, I'm moving slow. I'm moving real slow with this. I just want to do it right, you know? So anyways, I put some beans on to cook earlier, and the house was already smelling fabulous by this point. I've never made chili like this before. I've always used canned beans, but I have all those dry beans, and I said, well, darn it, I'm not going to go to the store and buy anything. I had everything in my freezer and pantry. So I went ahead and put a pot of beans on, and I had, you know, defrosted some hamburger meat. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cooked up. I pulled out onion from my pantry, and then I pulled out a package of peppers that you guys were with me in a video when I prepped those for the freezer. This is one of those occasions that I am so happy that I do freezer prep for. For this purpose, cooking purpose, for breakfasts, we had frozen potatoes this morning with peppers and onions, and we had eggs and bacon, which I had in the freezer. And it's just so lovely to have a well-stocked, well-prepared pantry and freezer, because you can cook some really amazing dinners, breakfasts, lunch, meals, period, when you are well-stocked. So I'm going to go ahead and get some spices put in here. I put some garlic powders, some onion powder, some chipotle seasoning in there, some chili powder, some cumin. I'm going to add the onions, and here are the peppers. And what else did I add? Worst word in the world sauce. Some tomato paste, 2 cans of diced onions, and then I had a can of these green chilies. And so I put a few of those in there, mild. Ernie and I were the only 2 eating, so, you know, I could make it as spicy as I wanted. And, you know, I've made chili like you probably have a million times in a million different ways. Not literally, but you know what I mean. So you kind of know what goes in it and what's going to taste good. And so, you know, sometimes I put cinnamon in and I didn't, you know, put any in this time. It just depends, you know. And so I added all of this to the meat, and then I ended up dumping this into the pot of beans. The beans were about 50% done at this point. So it was a perfect time to go ahead and dump all of this in, and I get the tomatoes put in there. And then I just put the lid on and let it simmer. And let me tell you what, it was the most cozy meal to smell. Like I said, we had a storm blowing in, so it was gloomy and windy, and the chili was cooking. The house is clean. I'm getting the kitchen clean now. That's the last thing that I needed to do. And then I was going to go take my shower, make a cup of coffee, put on Hocus Pocus, and sit and just enjoy my life. And, you know, that is the epitome of homemaking for me. And that is my reward. My afternoon cup of coffee is my reward. I really look forward to that. You'll ask Ernie, if we're out and about running errands, I'll say, it's almost 3 o'clock. It's time to go home for coffee hour. I just love my house. I love being home. I'm a homebody. It doesn't matter what house. When I was in Florida, I would say the same thing. Let's go back to the apartment. I'm ready for coffee hour. You know, I just want to be cozy in my space. And I can enjoy it so much more when it's clean and tidy and organized. And if I get that meal knocked out early enough in the day and it's just sitting on the stove waiting, like a pot roast or, you know, a crock pot meal or something like that, that is for me just the best. I think it's just the best. And like I said, my coffee is my reward, and it just, you know, feels so good. I really wanted to mop on this day after I was done cleaning, but let me tell you guys, I was tired. I was tired. This is sped up, and it looks like I'm doing everything super fast. It's like, what, a 25-minute video? It took me all day to do this. Well, I shouldn't say all day. I probably started about, I don't know, in the morning after coffee I started, and then it took me till about 3-ish. I don't know, maybe we'll get a glimpse at the clock here. I don't even remember the times. It just took me several hours to do this, and I took breaks and everything, but I was tired, and I said, you know what, it doesn't matter, because usually, and I was right, my neighbor and her little girl will come over, and what's the purpose of mopping my floor? Just in case I have neighbors come over. You know, of course, I'm going to offer chili and cornbread if they stop by. What's the purpose, you know? So I figured I would just do it the next day, and which I did. I ran my mop vac, you know, around the floor. So that is the only thing that I didn't do. Everything got hands on it. Everything was fresh and clean. And that is it. That is it for my video. That is it for Falloweenmas at the Maldonado household. Yes, Falloweenmas. You heard it here, folks. Thanks so much for staying till the end, guys. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.